Hey everybody, welcome to another video. Hope everybody's doing well. Today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to show you guys some things from my collection that are baseball related, but not cards. Maybe I'll show you one thing that could be considered a card. But I do have some cool things in my collection that are not baseball related. And I know people collect balls and stuff signed. This ball is from 1973. My Uncle George gave me this ball. I came from a Brooklyn Dodgers household, which means it was a Met household by the time I was around. And, I mean, just really cool ball. Jerry Koosman on here, obviously Willie Mays, Tom Seaver. Just an amazing thing to have in the collection. And I always thought this was a great thing, and I have this on my main display thing all the time. So it's great. I mean, I have a Willie Mays autograph, you know. It's not on a card. Probably would prefer it on a card, if I'm being honest, but it's still really cool. And now, in the more recent times, this is the ticket from the game when Barry Bonds hit his 73rd home run. Very, very controversial. You know, some people look at this and they'll, I mean, I'm not going to get into it. You guys know, I think Barry Bonds is the man. But anyway, this is a cool thing to have. It's like kind of controversial. It's like kind of an art piece, which I think most of this stuff really is essentially. Here's something really cool. My mom came home with Jiffy Pop, and this was on it. It's a disc. This was years ago, 1987 or 1988, whatever year this was, 87. My mom brought Jiffy Pop home, and this was on it. And my brother hadn't seen it yet, and I just took it quick. We both collected back in those days, but very, very cool to have. And here's a card of me when I was in Little League. Pretty funny, like kids, we all had that back in the day. And on the back of the card, it's kind of interesting. I was a little kid, 10 years old, 4'8", 63 pounds. Team Minuteman Press in the RGM, Little League. But the funny thing that I saw here, favorite pro, Babe Ruth. You know, and that the important thing about that is that where did I know that from? You know, I knew that from people who were older telling me. Babe Ruth hadn't played for 50 years. When this photo was taken, he hadn't played for over 50 years. But somehow I knew he was the GOAT, you know, and all that. We didn't call it that then, but kind of cool if you played, you know, Little League when you were a kid. And just to show, this is a picture of my brother playing Little League, like when we were really young. But check out those fields, man. I mean, like we had the worst. When we were playing as kids in Queens, New York, man, I'm telling you, our fields were a disaster. And you get older, you get to play on nicer fields. Now I play in softball leagues in Long Island where the fields are beautiful. I never had that growing up playing ball as a kid. And here's just a pin. I remember they were giving these out when I was 10 years old at my school. We were literally down, I don't know, half a mile from Shea Stadium. And it was a rough time for a Yankee fan, you know. It's crazy. I don't know how I became. I do know how. My other uncle, my Uncle Sal, he was just like insisting on being a Yankee fan, and he knew all about the stuff. And brought me to games. So did my other uncle, but somehow my Uncle Sal won that battle of my heart and mind as a kid. Here is something else that I have. I think is pretty cool. This is from the Cyclone ride. Now, the reason why I have this in here is because it's a really cool thing. The Cyclone is one of the most famous roller coasters in the world. And this is an old school punch ticket, right? So basically, you pay for 5 rides on this, and they would punch it. So you get number 1, number 2. You might go 2 in a row. You could go 3 in a row. And then, you know, you decide to go on the Wonder Wheel or go to the beach and come back and then get it punched a couple more times. Now, the Cyclone is a New York rite of passage. If you are a New Yorker, you definitely rode the Cyclone. And if you haven't, go do it because you really need to. It's a horrifying experience. It's not a big roller coaster, but the first drop looks like you're going to smash your face onto the pavement right outside the park. So it's just a cool thing. And of course, the Brooklyn Cyclones, and they play down the street. I think it's Keyspan is what it's called. I've been there, a lot of times, but they did change the name at one point. But this is where the name comes from. And I'm going to finish it off with something that you guys might get a kick out of. I couldn't even believe it. So when I was a kid, I did some TTM stuff here and there. I had a little booklet or something. And this was this card I wanted to get signed by Johnny Bench, right? And I have the letter that I wrote to Johnny Bench, which is kind of funny. So I'll read it to you. Dear Mr. Johnny Bench, I am 12 years old. So this was in 1987. I was 12 years old and I live in New York. Although I didn't get to see you play much except for your last few years, I'm one of your biggest fans. That's probably a lie. I was wondering if you would please autograph the card I sent you. Sincerely, my name. I am including and for some reason this thing just never made it out. I never sent this. It's just kind of funny, because and we didn't, I saw Johnny Bench. The first time I saw Johnny Bench play, believe it or not, was in Darryl Strawberry's first game at Shea Stadium. And my uncle took me to that game. And he pointed out Johnny Bench to me. Said, that's Johnny Bench. One of the greatest catches you'll ever see. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. And I always remembered the name. So I always was into Johnny Bench. I still collect Johnny Bench. Hello. I love Johnny Bench. His rookie card was the first Hall of Fame rookie I ever got. I bought it for $10 when I was a kid. Money I got from walking dogs, so my next door neighbor's dog. And just an unbelievable, thing to be a part of as a kid, learning about these older players. But yeah, and the reason why I said that wasn't true was that, although I didn't get to see you play much, except for, even that I really didn't see because I saw him play at Shea Stadium. And I might have seen him on TV a couple of times. Why? Because we didn't have all the crazy stuff now with the package and the streaming and the highlights. It was like you were watching Channel 9 for the Mets, Channel 11 for the Yankees. You're getting Sal Marciano or Warner Wolf or one of these legendary New York sports guys that would just make it amazing after the game, tell you what happened. And that was pretty much it. If something crazy happened around the league, they might show you that. But it was basically Yankees and Mets highlights, and you didn't really get to see all that. So I had my baseball almanac that my uncle got me, and I'd look up the stats and be like, wow, Johnny Bench was unbelievable. Anyway, I hope you guys are well. If you guys have anything like this in your collection, this type of stuff, I'd love to see it because I think this stuff is really fun. And anyway, I'll see you guys next time.